Greetings and salutations. What a beautiful day for a ball game. Let's play two.
All Over the Road New Orleans is brought to you by Coin Trader Inc. Mind your money.
Come on, the Coin Trader Studios, we're bringing it live. And who am I? I go by the name of Darkest Night. And Jada Hoyos is the one who brings a sick beat, to which we're getting pumped for topics this week. So let me grab my grape soda and take a sip, while I turn it over to Katie, Nick, Ted, and Vic. It's all over. We're all over the road. We got a brand new show, so just lo and behold, from the bayou to the city to the burbs to the swamps, you better know what time it is when you're hearing that.
Daddy, guess what?
I have no idea. What?
Today is opening day in the bigs. I've been jonesing for baseball. I watched all the preseason spring training. I'm up at 3 in the morning. I'm taping them all.
I know. It seemed like forever to get here. But it's only been delayed, what, like 2 weeks?
Yeah, I know.
Something like that. It seems longer, though.
It's here, and all over the road, we're going to talk about it with a special guest. Here we go. Strap yourself in. We're on.
You're up, baby. Well, I beat the drum and hold the phone. The sun came out today. We're born again. There's new grass on the field.
It's another All Over the Road podcast from the King of Podcasting, bestowed upon me by JB Powers and Associates.
The stamp of approval.
Yes, the stamp of approval. I'm Victor Del Giorno. Ted Semper is here. It's opening day in the Major League, so we're going to talk a little baseball today. We're going to talk about, on this very show.
Right, it's opening day on the day that we're recording this podcast.
Yeah, sure. You're
By the time it's, I know, I mean, speaking in the future, but, nevertheless.
Okay.
It's finally here.
Yeah.
MLB.
So on this very show.
Yes.
Don't go away, because we're going to have our special guest is here with us, Joe Scheuermann, who is the Shermans are baseball royalty in the city of New Orleans.
That's right.
Just to put it that way. Mm-hmm. We're going to pay tribute to a New Orleans icon who passed away yesterday. Don't blow it yet.
Okay.
We're going to pay tribute to an icon, and she truly was an icon.
Yeah.
Truly was.
Yep.
And that's on this show. What else? So I'm going to tell my Eric Dickerson story.
Yeah, you told me a little bit about that on the phone. That was on your trip to Nashville, right?
Nashville, yeah.
Yeah. A couple weeks ago. So
I'm going to Eric Dickerson. Anyway, without further ado, because we have a star here in the studios. Here he is, Joe Scheuermann. Mm-hmm. Joe Scheuermann, the manager of the Dirty Dolphins of Delgado.
Why you call them dirty?
The Dirty Dolphins. Because they're dirty. They get dirty. All the uniforms are dirty. These guys are slobs. They're like the old Brewers. The Brew Crew, they're slobs.
That's a real baseball player.
When you get dirty. College guys.
Because we don't own a washing machine, he calls us the Dirty Dolphins.
Okay.
Joe Scheuermann, a close and personal friend, and he heads up. His dad before him, Rags, who actually recruited me when I was in high school. And
to do what? To what?
To run baseball.
To run the equipment room, or
he had a great eye for
wash the uniforms?
He had a great eye for talent.
He did. He actually did. Yeah. Well, I was a no-brainer, but But just to tell you a little bit about, for the people that are listening that aren't from New Orleans, Delgado Junior College is one of the top JUCO baseball programs in the country. And it's because of the Shermans. And and I think the real test of that, or the proof in the pudding in that, Joe, is that his kids don't go there and play 2 years and they're done with baseball. Mm-hmm. It's a stepping stone to a Division I job, or baseball is a job, but opportunity.
We've been very fortunate, guys. I mean, and to be honest with you, it's because of the caliber player we have in the area. Mm-hmm. To be honest with you, so many kids get overlooked, and there's only so many spots at the Division I level. So we've been able to get the better player that doesn't get chosen by Tulane or UNO or LSU or Southeastern, and make him a even better player, and they move on.
Mm-hmm.
Are you excited about how the season's going? You're 25-9.
Yeah,
you went far last year, didn't you? Go almost all the way.
Yeah, we lost in the semifinals of what we call the Super Regional, which is district play for JUCO.
Right.
We lost in Oklahoma, but the team that beat us went on to finish in third in the country. So we knew we had our hands full going in, and we just fell a little short. I'll be quite honest with you guys. I'm excited about this club. I think we're going to be pretty strong on the mound. Our depth is what you need. As pitching is what baseball's about, and our pitching's been real good. We got a showcase third baseman, a kid that signed with Ole Miss named Ethan Leger, who can really play. And I'll tell you this, Vic, you've been at our ballpark. we've had as many as 9 scouts at games at one time. So this kid's getting a lot of interest in something that's very exciting.
Yeah.
Well, of course, Daniel LaHare has been on our program.
Yes, yeah.
Because
That's right, yeah,
I was
I
making a
remember.
baseball comeback last year, and I found out I just wasn't up to snuff.
He was a good player.
Yeah, so he was on the show, and of course, I went to watch a lot of his games. And as a matter of fact, my buddy Ron Ebersol, his kid played for you,
Sure.
and he ended up going to VMI.
Yeah, we talked about you a lot when Abby pitched for me. I said the big ragu. I mean,
You remember the big ragu?
big ragu. Abby was a big radio guy back then too.
Right,
so
that's true.
He had a great career for us and also at VCU.
So you've coached how long?
This
over
is
there?
my 32nd year, believe it or not.
And his dad was before him. I mean, there's been someone at the helm there for
Wait, there was somebody in between, though, right?
No.
No.
Straight from your dad
Yeah.
to you.
It's like 75 years, isn't it, between the two of you?
Just
Wow.
pretty much. We
Yeah.
started, I would say my dad started the program in 1974. Loyola dropped athletics in 72. I'll never forget that day as long as I live. I was 10 years old, and my mom and dad both worked at Loyola. We were riding in the car. They'd drop us off at school, and they'd continue on to go to work. And Wayne Mack. How about that name?
Yeah.
Wayne Mack said, breaking news in uptown New Orleans. Loyola's going to have a press conference to announce the dropping of its athletic program. And my mom looked at my dad and said, did you know about this? And the rest is history.
Yeah. Jeez. What a way to
that?
find out, huh?
What'd you think? Like that?
Good stuff.
Yeah.
Good
Yeah.
stuff.
Now, do you watch Major League Baseball?
Oh, I'm addicted to Major League
There you
Baseball.
go.
I got the MLB package.
Me too.
My wife and son go upstairs, and my daughter and I watch almost every game.
Who's your
watch.
team? Who's your team?
So I get accused of having too many teams, but to be quite honest with you, St. Louis Cardinals.
Oh,
Really?
I'm a
Yeah,
Cardinal
a lot of Cardinal fans in New Orleans, a lot of Cub fans.
You know why that is? Dan?
Yankees.
You know why that is?
No.
Because when we were growing up, the only game you could listen to on the radio back then was KMOX.
Yeah, right. Out of St.
Harry
Louis.
Carey and Jack
Yeah.
Buck.
Yeah,
I would sit
that's
on
right,
my
yeah.
mama's back stoop and listen to the game till I fell asleep. I got school books, Vic. It's comical. They got 3 innings in them, And then my daddy would put me in bed. I'd score the game for 3 innings and fall asleep. But it's I've been a Cardinal fan because of that.
So you
The
hate
guy
the
that-
Cubs, huh? You hate
Yeah.
the Cubs.
No, I don't hate the
I'm
Cubs.
from
Yeah.
Chicago.
You should-
We dislike the Cubs.
You should hate each
Yeah,
other.
yeah.
You should hate each other. Now, Mike, what's his name, is doing the games now on KMOX, and he sounds awful now. What's his name? Mike Shannon.
Mike Shannon, and this is his last year, by the way.
Well, of course. You can't understand a word he's saying.
Yeah, Mike. He serves a mean steak, though. I'll tell you that. But then the Shannon Steakhouse in St.
Mike
Louis.
Shannon, he just growls the whole time. But, I had Joe in here because it's, his program is doing well this year. I'm sure they're going to go far, like they always do. And we have a big history together, my family and his family. Mm-hmm. And it's opening day. And the real thing I wanted to talk about are my days at Delgado. Because I had some days there.
I mean, this is back to when you, like you mentioned, about being
1985.
recruited.
No, this is well after I was recruited.
This is separate
This is
from
when
that.
he was retired.
This is-
Retired.
Yeah,
I see. Okay. Yeah, I'd
my
love to hear that
baseball-
story.
My
Sure.
baseball days were behind me at that point.
Yeah.
But I was killing it in softball.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, well, I remember. I played with him.
So,
Played with him,
so anyway, I had an opportunity. Remember Karen Cortello?
Yes.
You don't remember her. She worked at Q93 and
about that?
when he was there.
I remember
and
that name, yeah.
Yeah, Karen
Yeah.
Cortello. She comes up to me one day and goes, and I was working, I was doing the party shift on 13Q.
Okay.
Remember, I was on from 10 to 2 or something?
Yeah.
Like something like that, 10 to 2.
Yeah.
And no, I was doing midnight to 6. I was doing the graveyard. I was doing midnight to 6 on
overnights, yeah.
13Q. Yeah.
Okay.
So she says, I have an opportunity. The people over at Delgado. I go, yeah, the Scheuermann. Yeah, I don't, knew his dad and everything. Didn't know him. And they're looking for someone to do the announcing, the PA announcing. I go, really? Yeah. I paid $25 a game. And usually, wasn't it doubleheaders?
Yeah,
Was it doubleheaders?
A lot of doubleheaders.
Yeah, a lot of doubleheaders. $25 a game. So I'm going up there.
Yeah.
I'm going up there.
You up to the booth?
Yeah, in the booth.
Yeah.
And I brought this little tape recorder with me.
Okay.
And I had all this organ music on it. In between innings, I'd stick the microphone up the recorder.
Okay.
And had the organ music. The kids loved it. Kids are looking up there and be like, what's happening here?
Yeah, it's like a real ballpark.
This is
Yeah.
crazy. Yeah. And I would make an announcement every day. At that point, I don't know, maybe we had at these games 50 to 100 people maybe.
If you were lucky.
Now you have a lot of people. Now you have a lot of people. You do.
I'll be quite honest with you. I got to tell this story. I've been holding this story forever. So I get a phone call one night. I'm coaching at Tulane. My dad calls. He says, hey, what's going on? I said, nothing. I'm getting ready to walk over for supper because we live right around the corner. He goes, man, I got to call you because you got to come to my game tomorrow. I said, y'all not playing. He said, I just checked the schedule. You off? I said, you got somebody I need to see? You got a good player? He goes, no, I got a great announcer. I said, have you lost your mind? What are you talking about?
Yeah, he wants you to come here and hear an announcer.
Here's Joe.
Yeah, I'm an announcer.
It's all baseball.
The rest is history.
Yep.
Oh, man. So, I do these games, and this was a patent announcement I made for every game. Okay? And the people they couldn't believe they were hearing it. I'd go like this. I'd go, ladies and gentlemen, at the conclusion of tonight's contest, please do not run on to the playing surface. If you run on to the playing surface, you will be escorted out and prosecuted. And then people are looking.
Things like that need to be said.
People are looking up
at college games.
Like, are you kidding me? What is this guy doing? And then
who's he talking to?
And then of course I had the organ music.
Yeah. Yeah.
I had it all queued up on a cassette recorder.
And this is back before then. Now they have the board where you punch up the audio at
He was
stadiums.
well before his time.
This is long before that.
A man's got to do what a man's got to do.
Yeah.
So
you're ahead of your time.
And then I would do this, Ted.
Yeah.
I'd put the microphone by the organ music, and I'd stick my face down there so I could still talk, and you could hear the music. And this is technology back then.
Yeah.
And I'd say stuff like this. Ladies and gentlemen, don't forget to check out our concession stand and get the world-famous Dolphin Dog.
That's it.
Available now at the concession stand. And get yourself a nice cold Schmitz beer.
Schmitz.
That's the beer we served on.
Was it really?
Schmitz. Remember Schmitz, Joe?
Do I remember Schmitz?
I don't remember.
Schmitz and Schaefer Light put me through Tulane.
Yeah, Schaefer and Schmitz, the two S's. And, of course, his sister, Emma, darling, just a delightful lady. Mm-hmm. She'd get a big kick out of it. And then she'd come up and give me stuff to say. And all of a sudden, now they're sending stuff up to say.
Yeah, I think the Dolphin Dog later turned into the Rooney Dog. Is that correct?
No.
No?
No.
Okay.
No. It was a Dolphin Dog. But at that time, if you went to get a dog, it didn't say Dolphin Dog. If you go there today, 2021, what is it?
It's a Rooney Dog now.
Oh, then maybe I did call it a Rooney Dog.
I think it was a Rooney. I think you changed it to the Rooney Dog.
I like Dolphin Dog.
Kirsch Rooney.
Kirsch
Rooney is the name of our stadium.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah,
that
so
makes sense.
he came
So it's
up
a
with
Rooney
the Rooney
Dog?
Dog.
It wasn't Dolphin Dog, it was Rooney Dog?
Rooney Dog.
Okay.
He gets his facts mixed up.
You lost your memory.
It's been a long time.
He's
I
lost his
completely
mind.
forgot about that.
This is what year?
1985.
85.
So then we had some kind of banquet I went to. I don't know if you remember. There was some kind of banquet.
They had an awards banquet at the end of the year.
Yeah.
Rags did every year a sports banquet.
A sports banquet, and they invited me to that.
Yeah, you and MC. Good
yes.
God, I'll never forget that.
Yeah.
Martha's there. It's beautiful. Well, what was wrong with it? You didn't like it?
No, it's typical Vic.
I had to work the crowd.
Had to work that crowd.
This is,
Yeah.
But I don't know. I just have fond memories of that. And what I wanted to ask you is,
You were before click music. You invented click music with your little cassette player and the radio.
Yeah.
I mean, you probably the reason New Orleans baseball is what it is right now.
here's what I wanted to ask you.
Well, did you come back in 1986 for the 86 season?
I think I might have done 2
2
seasons.
years.
I did 2 seasons. Yeah, I did 2 seasons.
Okay.
And then, of course, they were graceful enough, and they were just. I mean, the people over there.
He got big time on us after '86.
Well, no,
he went from the graveyard shift to the morning show.
I did. I went. I did. I was moving up.
Yeah.
But at one point in time, his dad even offered me a job there, doing something in sports relations or something. I said, when I first got into radio, I did sports. I once interviewed Joe DiMaggio, all right? And Joe DiMaggio, I asked Joe, I said, Joe, what, and of course, when his handler told me, look, don't ask any Marilyn Monroe questions. Whatever you do, no Marilyn Monroe questions. And of course, I respect baseball.
Sure.
If it had been, I don't know, a rock star, and they say don't mention Beyonce or something, I'd mention it.
Yeah, you just do it.
No,
You just do it.
Baseball, no. Although baseball's been its worst enemy for many years. But anyway, its own worst enemy. But so I interviewed Joe DiMaggio, and this is what I tell my grandkids. I got 2 4-year-olds. I'm trying to teach them how to hit, and one of them's right. They're both left-handed. They're not, but they are. And so, I mean, I'm trying to teach them that you got to watch baseball.
Sure.
You got to watch, because when I was a kid, Teddy, if Al Kaline grabbed his crotch and spit, I grabbed my crotch and spit. I mean,
of course,
you do all that manicuring at home plate, before you get in there. Anything they did, I did.
You mimic.
So I asked Joe, I go, what would you tell a young player today? And what would be your biggest tip? And he would say, the young people need to watch the big leaguers and imitate them. You know, and this is from Joe DiMaggio.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
You know, and I just find today. I mean, Joe, do you find that a lot of your kids do they watch baseball?
Yeah, it's funny. You do see a lot of the mannerisms of different players. You know, you got the Will Clark swings, and you got the different type of the cruise. I say swing from the heel swing, but it's funny what we've gotten away from, Vic and Ted. Growing up, you got one game a week. I remember waking up on Saturday morning, make sure I saw the Saturday morning game of the week, with Joe Graggiola and Tony Kubek. Now you turn on the TV, you can watch a game, almost any hour of the day, right?
Oh, yeah.
So kids, I think, I hate to say it because there's so much on, they don't watch anymore.
Yeah, they get kind of,
It's like
There's all kinds of other
oversaturated.
things they
They're
can do
playing
now.
their PlayStation,
Yeah.
or listening to podcasts, But I mean, seriously, it's we're getting away from it, which is sad.
Yeah. Do you ever drive through neighborhoods or
Never see
anywhere
kids
and
on
see
the
kids
street.
out
No,
playing baseball
no,
like when we were kids?
Oh man, we made
all we
wiffle ball
did.
fields.
Yeah.
Hey, I got to tell y'all this story during the first pandemic where they locked us down.
Yeah.
So we're sitting in the house. It's me and my wife and son and daughter, and talking about they're going to go buy bicycles to ride. Because everybody's riding bicycles.
Got all those bike lanes now.
Yeah.
Oh,
So they went and bought bicycles. We put them together, and they've never ever been on the street because by the time I figured out how to put it together, the pandemic was over.
Exactly. Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
But seriously, you don't see kids riding bikes. You don't
No.
see kids on playgrounds. We live across the street from Lakeview Playground. When I was a kid, you couldn't drop a dime and not hit 10 kids in the head.
Yeah.
Now you can't find a kid on the
You
playground.
see a bunch of kids playing and a bunch of kids on the side
Yeah.
waiting to get in.
Yeah. I mean,
get
I
picked.
can remember the knock on the door every Saturday morning. My buddy's coming to get me. Hey, let's go. And we'd come back when the light got on the porch. Mom would say, turn the light on. You better be home.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's just there's all kinds of other distractions. They have all kinds of other choices. And, but the thing about baseball is it's different than to be a baseball player. You can't wait till you're 15, 12, 13, 15 years old. The baseball's got to be in you. In other words, there's guys that might play baseball, but then there's ball players, and those are two different things. And I can tell you, Joe, you can, but I can tell you, I can throw a mitt and a ball to somebody and play catch with him. I can tell you in 2 minutes if he's a ball player.
No doubt.
Just the way he carries himself.
No doubt.
Yeah.
No doubt.
Ball players carry themselves a certain way. So since you've been watching a lot of Major League Baseball, and I have too, I've got a question to ask you at the end. Don't let me forget because I have a proposal
Okay.
for
Go
you,
ahead.
Joe. So,
Good deal. I'll
so
remind you.
get ready for that. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to go on the Google on the socialist media here. By the way, if you're on Veterans Boulevard checking your social media, stop. If you're on Veterans Boulevard
Yeah.
and you're driving around checking your socialist media, please stop. Okay.
Stop the car or stop checking.
Major League
Both.
Baseball divisions.
Yeah,
Okay,
there
we're
you
going to make our picks. I have a pick. You know what? I had a pick. And I'm a Tiger guy. Because I grew up a lot of informal years in the Flint, Michigan area, and became a Tiger fan. I was there at the '68 World Series. I went to every home game when the Tigers beat the Cardinals.
Absolutely.
And they were down 3-1. Mickey Lolich won 3 games in that series. Bob Gibson won 0. Who was the greatest pitcher I've ever seen in person? Bob Gibson. I will say that. So I had this pick, okay, and I thought, man, I got a sleeper pick here. But now everybody's on top of the pick. So anyway, we're going to go by divisions. And Ted, you're a baseball guy too, so you can participate, unlike the Final Four thing where you didn't know what the hell you were talking about.
Well, come to find out, you didn't either.
Well, I didn't. Well, you know what I did? I picked
Didn't you or your brother?
Who did you guys pick? Who did you?
I picked Tennessee to win the whole thing.
Yeah, well, you were close.
But here's the thing.
Yeah. And who did Michael pick?
Jeez, I can't remember. I don't think Gonzaga. He picked all chalk horses.
Gonzaga.
But here's the thing. And this, I got to stop doing this. Is when I do my bracket, I don't actually pick the winners who I think is going to win. I try to pick a couple upsets, and you can't do that because if you pick an upset and it doesn't come in, it screws up everything.
They say to pick the upset in the first round.
Yeah,
that's the key.
Yeah,
okay.
Because I was on South Dakota State and I won that. North Dakota, one of the Dakotas.
Of course, St. Peter screwed everybody up this year.
Yeah, Kentucky. Okay, so let's start in the American League East. Here we go. The American League East. These are our official picks from Joe Scheuermann, who is obviously going to be a Hall of Fame JUCO coach when he's done, like his daddy. Ted Semper, who's a big Cub fan.
We won't hold that against him.
Lifelong.
He won't watch it on TV, but he listens to it on the radio.
Good stuff.
Yeah, isn't that something?
Yeah.
And of course,
I appreciate it more on radio.
The king of all podcasts. Did the Cubs hire a female announcer for TV?
I don't know.
I think they did.
No, I don't think so. It's still the same guy that was with Casper.
Okay.
At least I heard.
Who was a long time organist there?
Yeah.
Oh, jeez. I can't believe it. I remember her name. Oh, man. She was great.
I Google it. I might cheat and Google it.
Oh, man. I know her name. I know her name. See, this is what happens when you get it. Okay, we're going to start with the American League East.
That's
All right, for
easy.
those of you that don't know, and Teddy, I don't know if you got your division straight. You got the Yankees, the Orioles, the Red Sox, the Rays, and the Blue Jays.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now you know what they're thinking about doing? I don't know if you know this or not, but they're thinking about doing something with a schedule where there won't be interleague play. Everybody plays everybody.
Yeah.
So if you're going to do that, why do you have divisions?
Good point.
I mean, I don't like
everybody
that.
plays everybody. What do you mean?
Well, if you're going to put a runner at second base, why not do anything?
Yeah.
Give me a break.
Starting next year, Ted, they're not going to have designated interleague play. Everybody's just going to play everybody.
And they're all. Oh, really? Next year.
Next year. So, in other words, and rather than the Yankees playing the Red Sox, maybe how many games they play, they're going to play half that many, and the rivalries go away.
I think they play 18 times.
Yeah.
Okay, something ridiculous.
Yeah. Okay, so in the East, you got Yankees, Orioles, Red Sox, Rays, Blue Jays. What do you think of that, Ted? Let's start with Teddy.
I'm going to pick the Yankees.
You pick the Yankees.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah, I don't know. I just like to pick the Yankees.
27
I
championships.
can't go in depth on that really for you. I'm sorry.
Okay.
The Red Sox have the best lineup in baseball.
Okay.
They might.
They do.
They might.
They do.
Okay, well, good.
Now-
I feel good about my pick now.
Do they have the best pitching in baseball? I don't know, but I'm picking the Red Sox.
I'm going with the Jays. Great lineup, lots of power, young talent, good pitching. Look out for the. As a matter of fact, I'm picking the Rays or the Blue Jays, and I hate to pick Toronto because I went to a series in Detroit, and the Toronto fans were there, and they're oblivious. They walk around, they just bump into you. They're like they're not paying attention, and it's not like they're checking their socialist media. They're just oblivious. They're big, goofy, doofus people. You know,
Well, they're
these
still learning.
Canadians.
They're still learning.
But no, I'm picking the Blue Jays. And as a matter of fact, I haven't gone to the World
Did you
Series.
ever go to Blue Jay Stadium?
No.
Is it called Rogers Stadium?
Yeah,
or-
so
But I went back.
Let me tell y'all something.
way
I've been
back.
to 32 straight World Series. How about that? The last 32 World Series I've gone to.
Wow.
Really?
So when I got the job at Delgado after leaving Tulane, my birthday's in October. So my wife tells me, I want to give you a birthday and congratulatory present. What do you want? I said, I want to go to World Series.
Yeah.
She said, okay. Can you get tickets? I said, yeah, I think I can get tickets. So I went. First year was the A's against the Reds. Reds swept them in 4.
That was in the 70s, yeah.
Yeah. And, no, it was 1990. So I came
A's,
home.
wow, I don't remember that.
So I came home, told my wife, she said, how was your trip? I said, I had a great time. Frank Fortunata and I went. She goes, what do you think? I said, I got bad news for you. I'm going every year till I die.
Started your tradition.
I've got 32 years in a row. We had one strike here and there, but 32 years in a row.
I was at the Astros game
So when you
last
go to
year.
every game?
Well, we started.
How do you do
We
that?
started going to the 3 middle games because you buy your tickets games 1, 2, 6, 7.
Oh, okay.
But
Yeah.
in the last 20 years, we've gone to every game. So I have a friend of mine, David Milius, and I, and Frank Fortunata, and Johnny Fortunata, and we've been a group
These
for
are
a long time.
a bunch of Goombas.
Wow. What a
Yeah.
good time.
Yeah, we have a lot of fun.
There's a bunch of Goombas going to the game. Well, I went to the game 6 in Houston this past year when they won the pennant. Okay. So it was game 6 and the Astros won the pennant. Now, when you win the pennant, that means you're going to the World Series. Okay. It's now called the League Championship Series. So I went to the game and this was my final call. Gotta let the crowd play. This is my call. When the Astros won the pennant last year. Listen to the crowd. It's coming.
Sandy Ramona.
Look, Sandy Ramona.
The Astros won the pennant.
Original, huh, Teddy?
Yeah.
The Astros won the pennant.
Well, they did.
Here's Harry. Listen to the crowd.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez. There it was.
And it all started in the press box at Curse Rudy Stadium.
Just think of that.
There.
Yeah.
It all started there. Okay. All right. So,
AL Central. Can I tell you who
let's
I
go
like?
to the AL Central.
Okay, and don't. Well, I'll tell you why. I just
First of all,
wanted-
this Guardians thing's got me pissed off.
That's.
I'm pissed.
I'm picking them. The Cleveland
You're
Guardians.
picking the Guardians?
Yeah, I'm
Oh,
picking the
my
Guardians
God.
only because I wanted to say Guardians.
Okay. Well, that's a bad pick.
Probably.
It's a bad pick.
But it's my pick.
That's your pick.
So here's my story about the Guardians. This kid, Leger, that plays third base for me. A lot of scouts come to the park. Guy came to the park the other day and said, "I'm Joe Blow. I'm with the Cleveland Indians. I mean Guardians." I said, "How many times you made that mistake this year?" He goes, "I can't get used to it. I'm sorry. I apologize." But it's I will not be picking the Guardians. I'm going to pick the White Sox.
Yeah, everybody's on the White Sox, and rightfully so.
Yeah.
They have a really good lineup too. That guy Robert, that guy, he only played like 40-some games.
Their shortstop played against me.
Oh yeah,
He's from East Central.
Tim Anderson.
East Central Mississippi Junior College.
No
Good player.
kidding.
Yeah,
Very good player. He needs to put some weight on though. He's awful skinny. Okay, so you're going with the White Sox. Although I'm going to tell you a team that may surprise you, and that's the Twins because they got a lot of pop. Of course, I'm a Tiger fan. I like AJ Hinch. I think the Tigers are going to make. I think the Tigers are going to finish second in that division this year. I really do because they have a good manager. I got to go with the White Sox too.
Yeah,
I have to. You cannot go with the White Sox.
I think of all the divisions in baseball, that's a no-brainer, really.
Yeah. Okay, now we're going to go to the.
Thanks for the insult.
The AL West. You got Astros, Rangers, Angels, Mariners, A's. Now, the A's just seem to be this team. They're all, you know what? A lot of people don't know is that their payroll is up from where, they used to play that. Remember, they were famous for not having a big payroll and they still won games, but now their payroll's up there. And they got a nice little team. But I'm not picking them. Who are you picking in that division?
I am really going with the Astros.
Well, that's a good pick.
Yeah, I think that's the pick.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to pick the Astros too, but I will say this: if Ohtani and Trout end up playing a majority of the games, you could have Angels.
That's a big if, though.
Yeah,
that's
it's a huge if.
And I'll say this: the DH rule is going to be interesting because how they're going to manage that with Ohtani. I mean, it's interesting stuff. But when you talk about a talented guy, my God, I try to watch as many of his games as I can possibly watch. And he's a talent. They talk about Mike Trout.
He is.
You know what
He's not Babe Ruth, though.
But you know what I'm impressed about him? To go to work every day, either on the mound or at bat. Hey, Vic, you know this. You played. That's stressful stuff, man. I mean,
well, in the major league season, it's 162 games.
The fact that the wear and tear on your body, the conditioning that you have to do to be a pitcher. The term PO, pitcher only, has come into play here in the last 10 years, and it's mainly because of arm recovery. I mean, kids aren't getting their arms in shape and able to recover as much as when we played. You pitched and threw every day of your life.
Oh yeah.
Now you got pitch counts. You got. I mean, there's a lot of stuff going on out there.
They're doing the electronic signals.
How about that? I saw that yesterday for the first time. I'm looking at that myself.
I heard an interesting story the other day.
How do they get it to the pitcher?
It's someone. I don't know. The catcher.
Yeah, but I mean,
the manager gets it to the catcher electronically.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know what it does. Yeah. I mean, it doesn't really.
Yeah. I'm definitely looking into that. The SEC uses the walkie-talkie. I'm not a big fan of the walkie-talkie. I talk too loud. I probably might as well just show, hey, fastball.
Do you call every game? You don't let your catchers call games?
I let my catchers call until it's a pivotal pitch.
Gotcha.
I call pivotal pitches. I think there's probably 15 to 20 pivotal pitches a game. Those belong to me.
Because nobody ever told me how to call a game. Never. And you didn't nod me off either. But here's an interesting story I heard. This is a beautiful story about Roger Clemens. And there's a lot of good Roger Clemens stories. The worst one is the fact that when he got popped for the steroids, he listened to Rusty and he got bad advice or he'd be in the Hall of Fame. Freaking Rusty. And then there was a story about him playing against his kid. His kid had a home run off him. Next time he plunked him. He threw at him. I mean, Roger Clemens is classic. And well, here's the story that I really loved. Whenever a new catcher would come on the club, Joe, Roger would get to him and he'd say, you make the club. Two catchers make the club. All right. So this was a guy that maybe wasn't there last year. He makes the club. He says, when you get a chance, let's get together. First of all, he didn't want to know your name until you made the team. He didn't even want to know your name. He'd go to introduce you. I don't want to know your name until you make the team. So one guy makes the team. And he gets with him on the plane. I can't remember who it was. And he says to him, hey, when we get on the plane today, I'm going to get with you and I'm going to go over our signals. So Roger Clemens called his own game, and he would give a signal, like whether tug his belt, go to his cap, and that was the pitch that he'd want to throw. Mm-hmm. And he'd give the catcher the signal. The catcher would put the signal down, and he'd throw the pitch.
Neat stuff.
Roger Clemens. I mean, just
did that his whole career?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't tell Roger Clemens what to pitch. Okay, let's go to the National League.
National League.
All right, stick around. Don't forget, sticking around. This is All Over the World, the podcast with the king of all podcasting, Victor Del Giorno, disposed upon me and by Jay Powers and Associates. And we're here with Joe Scheuermann, who is the manager, head baseball coach at Delgado, one of the top JUCO programs in the whole United States, and one of the pride jewels of New Orleans, Ted Semper, executive producer, and Mr. Magic, and myself. And coming up, we're going to pay tribute to a New Orleans legend that passed away yesterday. And I'm going to tell my Eric Dickerson story. You can stick around for that.
That's after the break.
After the break.
Which is coming up later.
So we're going to do the National League now.
Yeah.
And then, I'll tell you what. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be back with the National League after this.
All of the Road New Orleans, sponsored by CoinTrader Inc. For gold prices, go to goldpricesnow.com.
I don't care what people tell you, inflation is here. They're about ready to put a tax on beef, a tax on pork. Have you seen the price of milk? Inflation is here. Shortages are here. And financially, you got to figure out what the heck you're going to do with excess cash. They call it discretionary income. Well, the best thing that you need to do is to contact our friends at CoinTrader Inc. They deal in all the precious metals, rare coins. It's completely private. You don't need a social security number. You could be Bozo the Clown and open an account with CoinTrader. They've been around for 15 years. They have an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau. Call them today and protect your hard-earned wealth. Gold, silver, platinum, palladium, and rare U.S. and ancient coins. They're experts in all of that stuff. Give them a call at 504-267-6004 and tell them the king of all podcasts sent you.
Baseball's back and it has some new rules. Here's everything you need to know for the 2022 season. There will now be 12 teams that make the playoffs. Last season there was 10, now there's 12. That is 2 more. The universal DH is official. Every pitcher that's not named Shohei Ohtani will no longer be hitting. No more runners starting on second base in extra innings, which thank the heavenly Lord Heavens, thank the Father for that. And no more 7-inning doubleheaders. All doubleheaders will be 9 innings again. Opening day is April 7th, and mustard is the best topping to put on a hot dog.
From the city of New Orleans, this is All Over the Road, New Orleans, the podcast.
Welcome back to the big show. We got Joe Scheuermann here from Delgado University, Victor Del Giorno, and Ted Semper. We're making our picks for today is opening day and the bigs. And the Tigers right now, as we speak, are playing the White Sox. I'm taping it because we're doing this here, and then I got a haircut, so I'm not going to be able to watch a game until tonight. But anyway.
The Tigers also playing at the Masters. Excuse me. That's a bad line.
That's right, the Masters are. And Tiger Woods on the 7th hole missed a hole-in-one by like 3 inches.
Really?
It was the par 3. I don't know, maybe the 7th or the...
I didn't know anyone else was at the Masters other than Tiger Woods. I turned ESPN on today every show.
Well, I mean, you know.
Is there anybody else playing besides him?
Tiger should have got a burner phone. That's all I could tell you. Mm-hmm. I mean, Anyway, that's another story.
All right, let me tell you who I'm going to pick for the NL East. Can I tell you?
Yeah. But first, let's give Tiger Woods a pimp smack for not having a burner phone.
Turn that up. Oh, okay.
There it is. That's a pimp smack.
Right.
You like that, Joe? That's the pimp smack.
He deserves it.
He deserves it.
I know I put a lot of thought into my picks here, but
well, let's run down who's in the East: Braves, Nationals, Marlins, Phillies, Mets.
Yeah, and I picked the Braves.
Okay, all right, it's a good pick. I think we're all picking the Braves, aren't we? Are you picking the Braves? There's talk about the Phillies and there's talk about the Mets.
I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna pick the Mets.
Really? That's not a bad pick.
The Mets have great pitching, man.
But they're all hurt right now.
Yeah, but they're not gonna be hurt all year.
Okay. When you go out there with Scherzer,
it's just so hard to repeat. You know,
yeah.
And the Braves, I think lost when they lost Freeman.
No, they put Olsen in there. It's a push.
And here's the thing: they lost a lot of chemistry there. I mean, I think Freeman was the guy that held it all together, and just because of that, since they let Freeman go, I'm mad at him. I'm gonna pick the Mets.
I gotta give me one of those watches.
Like that Delgado watch.
Look at that.
The Detroit Tiger watch that my daughter gave me that 20 years ago.
That's a great watch.
It's our logo, by the way.
Okay, so we're all picking the Braves, and there's talk about the Mets, and there's talk about the Phillies and the poor Marlins. Did you see the Donnie baseball deal?
No, I didn't. I have it taped. I haven't had a chance to watch it yet, but I will.
Don Mattingly was one of the main cogs in the Yankees World Series runs in the 90s. And I remember the first time I saw Don Mattingly play, it was in the Superdome.
Yes, that's right.
When the Yankees were playing preseason games here.
Oh, I remember those.
right.
Yeah.
And some guy ran out there who was like number 97.
Yeah.
First time out, he hits a double off the wall. Second time, he's like, who is this guy? He had number 23 about a week later. That's what I mean, you know.
Why did they stop those games?
I don't know. Those were great.
Yeah. I'll tell you why they stopped them. Baseball doesn't fit in the dome anymore since the new configuration has taken place.
Really?
Yeah, no more baseball.
No kidding. I did not know that.
Yep.
That's all the improvements they did on the stands and everything. They can't do it. Okay.
And they used to talk about New Orleans getting an MLB team.
Never.
But you know, when the dome...
You can't play. You have to be indoors here. You can't play outside.
And when the dome was first built, it was built with baseball as an afterthought. Where do you want to sit when you go to a baseball game? Behind home plate, correct?
Yeah.
The upper deck, you couldn't even see home plate.
Yeah.
After row
it's an
6,
interesting point.
you know, so it was meant to be, but it really wasn't meant
I think
to be.
that's why the AAA team's gone. You cannot play games outside here. It's too hot.
That's another question I have. When are we going to get minor league baseball?
Not only
I haven't
too
heard
hot,
of it.
but
Ever?
too wet.
Go to Delgado game. You know, you used to go to all your games.
I should. You're right.
Remember Ronnie Burgess?
Ronnie Burgess.
He used to go to all your games.
Ronnie Burgess lives literally right around the corner from me, and unfortunately, as we all know, has passed. But
Yep.
he was a great friend of my family.
Remember the...
I'm sorry to say I've never been to a Delgado.
No, it's great.
Shame on
We'll
him.
go to one.
I know.
We'll go to one.
We'll put you in the skybox.
Okay.
Yeah.
There you go. Look at that.
You know, remember we had that show? We did the ASMR show with the Mackey girls.
Sure.
Well, the Mackey girls are Ronnie Burgess's granddaughters.
That's correct.
Yeah, the late right. Yeah. So anyway, okay. Now we're in the NL Central. We're almost done here. We've got Brewers, Cubs, Reds, Cardinals, Pirates. You're gonna pick with your heart, Teddy.
Sure he is.
Of course. This is the only division I care about. Really,
One of
the
these
only
years he's
team I
gonna be
care
right.
about.
One of these years he's going to be right.
Yeah, not this
Well,
year.
it
Not
wasn't that long
this year.
ago, but my heart, it says the Cubs. But I don't even, be honest with you, I think I know 3.
We're gonna go back to this in October.
The names of 3 players.
Well, hey, how about this? I'm going to pick the Brewers.
You're gonna pick the Brewers.
I'm a Cardinal fan. I think the Brewers.
Well-
I think the Brewers are getting to be where they need to be.
Well, I think the Pirates and the Cubs are out. So that leaves you with Brewers, Reds, Cardinals. And, you know, the Cardinals are always in it. They're always there. I mean, I want to pick the Cardinals. But I tell you what, this is where I'm going to make a sleeper pick. And I'm going to go with the Cincinnati Reds.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm going to go with the Reds.
I'm excited. I'm going to Wrigley May 21st.
Well, good for you.
Good
Yeah,
stuff.
I'm going.
Maybe
I haven't been
back
there.
to
I haven't
Suvi.
been there since 16,
You won't
the
recognize it.
championship season, but I wasn't the World Series. What's that?
You won't recognize it. A lot of changes.
Yeah.
I don't remember when was the last time I was there. It's been a while. Maybe a couple of years. Okay, where's the National? I lost my spot here. National League.
That was one of the great World Series trips for me too. By the way, Teddy, to see the Cubs win the World Series in Cleveland.
bet. Yeah.
So we went back and forth, and you know, my heart was broken for the Indian fans because they were in the same boat as the Cubs. But you know, the amazing thing is when the Cubs won, they opened the gates. The Indians opened the gates and let all the Cub fans that were outside in. It was amazing. To watch them come in and celebrate with their team.
That's cool. That's cool.
That is cool.
All right, now we're going to go to the NL West, which is a very interesting division. You know, of course, the Giants had that great year last year. They came out of nowhere. Even without Tatis, the Padres are going to be an interesting team. They got with the lefty, what's Sale? What was it?
Sale?
No, Snell. Snell. They got him.
I was going to say we got rid of Sale.
Yeah, and they got a good lineup. They really do. And a lot of people are picking the Padres, even without Tatis. He's going to be out for a couple months. He's one of the best players in the league.
Padres got a good manager as well. And I'll be quite honest with you. That's a tough call because there's 2 teams in there I really like, them being one. And I guess I'll say Padres.
You're going to go with the Padres? I was tempted. And I loved them last year. And those Padres-Dodgers games late night last year were awesome. Teddy, who you like in the West?
Can I say the Dodgers?
You can say the Dodgers. Yeah. You know,
Thank you very much.
This is the thing. This is the thing.
We're trying to pick upsets. Teddy's Teddy's picked all the favorites except
the Guardians, right?
Well, that's okay.
Oh, yeah, the Guardians.
Yeah,
too.
I'll see you back here in October.
The Guardians, the damn Guardians. You know, the thing is that I don't care for Roberts as a manager. You know what I mean? I think he does.
Let me say this about in Roberts' defense, and that's why I'm not picking the Dodgers. To be quite honest with you, I'm not really sure who's making the calls there. The new idea of a manager is not what we think of as a manager. When I was growing up, the managers made all the calls.
I thought that was only in the presidency.
Now he gets to the
with Biden, but it happens in baseball too.
He gets to the park at 10 o'clock, and some computer geek gives him a lineup that he probably ought to play, and if he don't play and they lose, he'll probably be not the manager longer.
Well, you got so much talent there in L.A. It's hard to make a lineup.
Well, I mean,
and you got to cut bait on Bellinger. He's done. Bellinger's done.
But there's too many predictable moves that I don't think the manager's getting a chance to make anymore.
Yeah,
right. Well, the designated hitter. I mean, you got the runner on second base.
It's become a computer game.
But isn't he he's still the first one to get blamed?
Yeah, no doubt.
What do you think about this? You think it'll ever get to a day where they have the electronic balls and strikes and they don't have an umpire?
I sure hope not.
That would be awful. To watch a game and not see some umpire standing behind the catcher. That'd be awful.
I think I'm not a big fan of replay, to be honest with you. Just because they talk about the length of the game.
And now they're doing this after further review, like the NFL.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I really believe that human error is part of the game.
I do too. Mm-hmm. I do too. And but I will say this: the electronic strike zone is coming. It's coming. I just don't trust them. It's coming.
It's in what is it, AAA or AA somewhere already?
They're using it.
Yeah.
Well, the pitch count's coming.
Wasn't real.
Well, I will say
very
this.
well received.
I just have, now this is the division. I mean, last year the Dodgers didn't win the division, but went farther than the Giants. You got to go with the Dodgers and all that talent. I mean, it's an all-star team.
And again, I hate playing the Dodgers. I'm not saying that you're incorrect. I think they're the logical choice, but
yeah.
I mean, the Turners on the left, just Freddie Freeman.
Just hate playing them.
Muncy.
Tired of seeing them.
Mookie.
I'll tell you the main reason I don't want them to win. I don't want to go from Boston to L.A. for the World Series. It's a miserable ride.
Well, you're always thinking about yourself.
He's thinking ahead.
It's all about
Who's
Joe.
going to be in that?
It's all about me.
It's all about Joe.
Yeah.
All right, so those are our picks, and we're going to revisit this show in October and see how we did, and we'll have you back. We're going to take another break. When we come back, we're going to celebrate a New Orleans legend that passed away, and then I'm going to tell you my Eric Dickerson story. You're going to love it. Stick around for this show. When we come back, All Over the Road, the podcast continues on the All Over the Road Podcast Network.
This All Over the Road New Orleans podcast is brought to you by CoinTrader Inc. Mind your money.
Ted, I got to tell you, I wear the All Over the Road podcast T-shirt all over town. And what I like to do is I usually wear about an extra large, but I like to squeeze into a medium. I do. Just because it turns heads.
I think would be cool is get the NOLA Gold Rugby Team All Over the Road T-shirts. See if they wear it during a match. What do you think?
That's a good idea. I don't think they'll do that.
Who else is promoting NOLA Gold more than we are? Come on.
I
think they owe us.
I love rugby.
I love Bisons. And what is a try? Why try? So you can get some damn points. That's why.
That's right. All Over the Road New Orleans, the podcast, the official podcast of the New Orleans Gold Rugby Club.
Yeah! From New Orleans, Louisiana, this is the All Over the Road podcast on the All Over the Road Podcast Network.
Welcome back to the big show. Don't forget to stop by your local dance club and see Cookie take it all off. I am sad to say that yesterday at the age of 89, Chris Owens, New Orleans icon, and you can say what you want. You can say what you want. But there's three big names. Well, there's four big names in New Orleans. And that's Armstrong. Okay? It's, Armstrong, Hurt. Who's the other guy? Fountain.
Yeah. And Owens.
And Chris Owens, baby. Yep. There's no denying it. There's no denying it. This woman did a show on Bourbon Street for over 60 years.
Wow. Yeah, that's amazing.
And she was plugged into everything here. She was plugged in. And she was still doing the show.
I'll be quite honest with you. a lot of people have come through my doors, and the first place they all want to go is Bourbon Street, right?
Yeah.
And then the first question I get is Chris Owens still performing? You know? And up until last year, I had to say yeah. I think she finally during the pandemic, I think she might have shut down for a little while, but and I hate to say it might have been what might have caused the end.
My brother-in-law Tom kept saying for years, about the last 3 or 4 years, we all got to get together and go see Chris Owens' show. I never went and saw her show.
Really?
Never went. And we were supposed to do it, get all the brother-in-laws and sister-in-laws together and go there and do it. And we never ended up doing it. But, I would run into her from time to time. You would see her around the city. She was very visible.
You know what amazes me? And I say this all the Mick Jagger. I mean, you ever watch him perform? They perform with such energy at their age. Chris Owens was the same way. I mean, where did she get the energy to perform? God, I'm 59. I'm going to be 60 next year. I'd last about 2 seconds with that pace.
See how hard it is to walk up the stairs to the Coin Trader Studios? It's a tough walk. It is a tough walk.
Yeah. So you never seen her show?
I never saw it.
I don't think I have either.
But my daddy had seen it many times. And as a matter of fact, there was a picture. Did you put it on the website? Did I send it to you?
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
There's a picture with Chris Owens, my daddy, and Norman Robinson.
Yeah.
Who was a guy that was on Channel 4 for years.
The thing about Chris Owens, and I only saw the show one time, she was not a stripper. She never took her clothes off.
No,
never,
it wasn't.
Never.
It wasn't.
And a lot of
it was burlesque.
X-rated.
Yeah.
It's burlesque.
Yeah.
It's
a lot of people thought, and including myself, when I first went in there, I'm thinking, what am I going here for? And then she was an entertainer.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's this one episode of Happy Days when Richie ends up to go see Bubbles McCall. And Ralph.
How does he remember this
Oh,
time?
man. Ralph Melf was a character on Happy Days. He was going, we're going to go see her. She's going to take it all off. Bubbles McCall. And they get there. And
is that when they had the itty bitty beers?
Yeah, and teeny weeny guy. So Richie gets all messed up, and come to find out, he sees his dad sitting in the back row. His dad's there at the show, and he's all upset because his dad was there. And come to find out, his dad owned a hardware store.
It was
and
a
he
hardware
there with
convention.
some client. What are you doing over there, Ted? Jeez,
So I think
man, you're having an accident or something. But no, a true New Orleans icon, and I just wanted to pay.
Well, she'll be missed. Did you see the picture? I posted it on our Facebook page. And they've had vigils there the last couple nights. Family, friends, outside it on, it was 500 Bourbon Street was the address, I believe.
I can remember as a kid going to the Easter parade in the quarter. Mm-hmm. She was the Easter parade, and in fact, I think just a week before her death, she announced that the Easter parade was returning, and then sadly she passes. But even in her announcement of her death, her manager said the Easter parade will roll in her honor.
Look at that. There you go.
Chris Owens, rest in peace, dead at the age of 39. A true New Orleans icon. Okay, we're about ready to wrap this up, Joe. Before we do, I'm going to tell my story, my Eric Dickerson story. Now, you remember Eric Dickerson, don't you?
Absolutely.
Yeah, Eric Dickerson.
Played for the Rams.
Played for the Rams.
And somebody
He
else.
played for SMU and literally ran over.
The Pony Express. Remember Craig
ran
James?
over Tulane when I was there.
That Craig James, who went to the NFL, played with the Patriots.
Yeah.
They were the Pony Express, the two running backs. They were in the game at the same time, and Eric Dickerson. And there was some kind of recruiting problem where they lost the program for a number of years and just got it back. I don't know how long SMU's been back. Mm-hmm. But normally when you hear this music, what are you about to hear, Teddy?
It's time to just sit back, be quiet, and listen to a story.
And listen to a story.
Uncle Vic.
Here we go. So I'm flying to Nashville to go see my brother Michael. Ended up, by the way, my trip to Nashville was awesome. I was on Michael's show on the 28th, and I had a chance to go to a Predators game, and I was sitting right behind the goal, right in the glass, first row. I was sitting in Amy Grant and Vince Gill's seats.
Wow.
And what's his name? Luke Bryan was sitting 4 rows behind me. I was like, hey, Luke. Hey, how's it going, baby?
Who's that guy?
Luke Bryan? He's on American Idol. He's a
No,
country
he was
star.
saying that to you.
Oh,
Who's
yeah,
that
of
guy?
course he's saying that to me.
But he's a country performer, right?
He's a country performer.
Yeah, I knew that.
So I'm at the airport, and I'm at one gate. At the airport, sometimes the gates kind of come together. They spill over into other gates. And there's Eric Dickerson, So I walk up to him. I go, hey, Eric, how's it doing? Victor Del Giorno, how's it going? He goes, hey, fine. I go, man, I just want to introduce myself to you. I said, you were some kind of a running back, man. me being a Saints fan and everything, I just remember the times that you'd break through the line and straighten up and just run past everybody, and you just torched us. Just really enjoyed watching you play. And we're talking, then we start talking about family and where he's going, where I'm going. Yeah, really great conversation. Here he is, this Hall of Famer, Eric Dickerson. I had a chance to talk to him. I mean, we're just chatting.
Was he wearing them goofy glasses?
Yes, he was. He was wearing some goofy.
That's his trademark.
Yeah, the frames, the neon type color frames. Mm-hmm. He's just a great guy. Great guy. I'm talking to him. And so we get done talking, and we're getting ready to line up, Joe, get on our fights and everything. He goes, "Hey, Vic." He remembered my name and everything. He goes, "Hey, Vic." Yeah. He goes, "Do you want to get a pic?" And I said, "No, I'm good." What do I want to get a picture with him for? Are you kidding me? I'm sitting in a Superdome watching this crappy team wearing a bag over my head. Yeah. This guy's running 300 yards a game. Breaking my heart. I'm all freaking zoned out on dome beers.
Yeah, right. How did he take that?
Yeah. I was good.
I mean, how did he take your no?
He didn't know what to do. But
okay, whatever.
That is the end of that story. What do I want a picture of him, Joe?
You're the greatest, Vic.
Well, I do want a picture, though. I want a picture with Joe.
We're going to get some pictures with Joe.
The shirt. I like the shirt Vic's got on.
I like that.
This is it.
Delgado baseball.
Tradition, baby. Tradition. Now, here's the big question. Can I come back and do a game?
Absolutely. Hey, I'm going to tell you something. We have really expanded.
I know. Now, is the other guy going to get mad if I come?
No, we simulcast all our games. Okay. Now, my son does the PA, so... Okay. Believe me, he'll let you do the PA.
I just want to do the PA.
But I want to get you on our simulcast. I think you'd be great. You and Kenny Trahan.
Oh, I love Kenny.
Yeah.
I'd love to be on there. But I'm a play-by-play guy.
He'll let him. He'll throw it to you.
Yeah, but I can do color too. I know my baseball.
That's what I'm saying. So we're going to do that. I'm going to set that up.
Yeah,
I would love to do that. I'd love to do that. I would love.
Where do you watch the games? Where do you see or hear them?
So you can go to our website, DelgadoAthletics.com, and it's live streaming. So it's good stuff. We put in a little camera system, and we're big time.
Hey, dude, it's a date. It's a date.
We're going to do it.
Okay, so the streaming is what again?
DelgadoAthletics.com.
DelgadoAthletics.com. Joe, thanks a lot, baby.
Thanks for having me.
Say hello to your mom. Say hello to Emma. Say hello to everybody. And I'll see you at the next game.
He's like the first Cardinal fan I ever met that I liked.
All right. We'll see you next time. All of those podcasts. Thank you, Teddy. Thank you, Joe. Again. God bless y'all.
Come on, Coin Trader Studios, we're bringing it live. And who am I? I go by the name of Darkest Night. And Jada Hoyos is the one who brings a sick beat, to which we're getting pumped for topics this week. So let me grab my grape soda and take a sip, while I turn it over to Katie, Nick, Ted, and Vic. It's all over. We're all over the road. We got a brand new show, so just lo and behold, from the bayou to the city to the burbs to the swamps, you better know what time it is when you're hearing that.
MLB Opening Day is finally here, but we got some new rules. No more one-game wildcard, and a 12-game postseason makes the 162-game regular season even more meaningless. And the universal DH means no more home runs from Big Sexy or Mad Bum. 9-inning doubleheaders are way too long, but fortunately we will still have a runner on second to start extras. Banning the shift and the pitch clock won't start until 2023, which is a bummer because they are easily the best new rules.
All Over the Road New Orleans is brought to you by Coin Trader Inc. Mind your money.